Hi there, this is Cartaya, and I have got the coolest thing in the world today. You know what I got? I got curious. That's what I got. And I was watching Aaron Esser. He put up a video of the new Hyperline. I've seen a few Drac videos, and another guy had a Nerf flywheel blaster. And of course, the Nerf Hyper. I knew very little about it, so I went on this kind of, how would you say, little Nerf Hyper rabbit hole, and I just went on Death by Nerf Blaster. By the way, that is Death by Nerf Blaster on Facebook. Here's the address right here, right? And I said, anybody have one of these? Anybody know anything? Of course, this is Blaster's not even released. Why would anybody have anything? You're a madman, Chris. That's what I got PM. But then I got a private submission. Not going to say from who. Not going to say what. I'm not going to say because snitches are bitches. But let me tell you this, man. Let me tell you this. I got it. I fucking got it. I've got the patent right here. I have got the patent right here for the new Nerf Hyper. For the Springer shotgun and the pistol for the most part. My God. My God. This is really cool. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure this is on the right f-stop so you guys can see this patent right here. Because right now I'm looking on a little screen that's saying, "Hi Chris, this is the mirror you," but I'm about 100 times smaller and so is the pixels for this. And I'm going to make sure this reads. So I'm going to put this on a little bit lower of an SS of an ISO, and I'm going to make sure that you can read this. And you have it. I'm going to prove if it's wrong. I'm going to make sure it's there too. But dude, check this out. This is really cool. This is very exciting. And for several reasons, this is very exciting. Okay, so here's what I wanted to show you right here. This is in manual focus. It's dark. And it's also the ASA is where it is to match the TV. It doesn't necessarily match me. Okay, so I know I'm in the dark, but you know, nobody worried about me when I was in the dark before. I've been in the dark for years. Well, anyway, here is the new patent for the Hyper, and I wanted to discuss it with you because it shows quite a few interesting things. First off, it shows what I wanted you to really hear, and that is that it is a Chronos firing system. So my favorite Chronos Deadpools, I can do the same mods on those I can do on these. Remember this piece right here, the catch plate? That's an important one because that shows me some commonality between this, and so does this tube here. So at any rate, this is about about the size of this. But what I could deduct from it is it probably has about an inch or two to this up here, to a Chronos. And that is because of this feed mechanism up here. Now, what I do not like is one, at least when you got a rival Chronos, you have manual spring, maybe 5, but you're manually drawing. A Saturn, same thing, you're manually drawing 10. You're not doing that anymore. So you're now gravity feeding it a lot like your Perseus, your Nemesis, or your Prometheus. So also I noticed, compared to the flywheel model, which we'll get into later, that it isn't so profoundly steep, and you might have some feed problems, maybe. And I think that, again, this is a blaster that has to be primed downward, not upward. And yeah, so there's that. But I don't think it's a deal breaker. As a matter of fact, this can hold 40 rounds, 40, not 5, 40. So what does that mean? That means freaking 40 rounds times 2 is 80 rounds if you dual wielding. And I know by going by this down here, by going by this wonderful, wonderful illustration of the slide. The hopper and the slide move together, and I know I could probably put a feed tab here, a speed tab here, just like that. That'd be really clever. I think modders should be reading this because it is, in my opinion, really good. Now, for a pistol shooter who was limited to 5 and 5 with 2 pistols, one of Stalking Dead 5 and 5, does 40 rounds hopper? Does it mean a lot to me? Yes. Yes, it does. And I know I'm in the dark. I know. Luke, I am your father. Yeah, I know. But at the same time, I want you to be able to see this. And that's much more important to me. So I had to drop the ASA. Here, that might help a little better. Okay, but you can see The side mechanism moves back. This is in full prime. It drops the ball in, it fires it. It uses a lot of the same kind of priming. You can see the action on it's not very long. It's maybe a couple inches. But I was really worried about the tube being smaller. I don't think it is. At least not on the pistol. It may be on the shotgun one. I like, if you move back up here, I like what I saw here. Here's your end of your plunger tube. This looks like a perfect place for like some kind of, you know, something like a Dart Zone Pro Mag or a Talon Mag or a Katana Mag or what have you, you know. It looks like it's just the right size. So I can put a thing on there. Ooh, doesn't that look cool? Doesn't it just look freaking awesome? That looks awesome. That looks awesome. The 12 rounder, that looks awesome. And I know that's not the scale, it's probably a little smaller. But, oh, that looks small. So I can take away this feed mechanism for this, and I can throw this, okay? There were people like, for example, Mr. Flux, who was talking about, well, why not just go with the JT splat stuff rather than this? Well, we'll get into that, because I think he's got a good point with that, is that none of these blasters are mechanically spring-fed. Okay, this Spath, of course, is mechanically spring-fed. Your long shots, your retaliators, your game phase primes, mechanically spring-fed. This isn't, so this might give like a springer who's used to priming like upward, like a lot of people will prime upward like this and then fire it. It might give them a little thing because your feed is in the front. If you do this, you're going to roll the balls back. So you may have to prime it like that instead. Yeah, so it may take a little getting used to for most of us springer guys. But, I mean, think about it, dude. Think about it. I just get, you know, two of them shoulder like this. Wham, ba-bam, ba-bam. And I have 40 of those. 80 shots. Oh, that's a dream. Okay, I can see that there would be some learning curve with the gravity feed rather than the spring feed, but I wouldn't have to load them all the time. Not that I couldn't do it in Stalking Dead, I load them all the time. If you watch the video, you'll see that. I load them all the time. But I never got caught with my pants down without any ammo. That's why I didn't get tagged. Okay, I think that one kind of proved it for a lot of people, that that's what it is. So I'm thinking I can use my Mighty 18K. I can use my Mighty Spring Mods, 18 kilogram springs, spring mods. Yeah, these were custom springs. They're about 7/8 inch in diameter. Really, really nice. This was privately submitted by somebody private. I can't say who it is, but I just want to say thank you for submitting this, because this is a big thing, and I think it's going to be a good video. Even at the beginning, it's really light and you can't see it in the beginning, and then it's dark, and here it is. At least you can see it. I know that the balls, I've been hearing that 14 millimeters to 14.5 millimeters might be something in between, but who knows. All I know is if it's 14.5, for example, if you get a 14.5 barrel, maybe 19.3 seconds, it would probably fit. Or if it were 4.1, 4.2, 4.3 millimeter, you can probably fit it in a 9/16 barrel, which is 14 millimeters of the inside diameter, and I think it would really work. But here's here's the feed ramp right here for the pistols, and as you can see, it's not a lot. And they're going into one there. Look at this profile. You got the top there, and here's the top of the relief, and there's the bottom of the relief. That's not much. Wait till we see the Percy's copy. And I'm probably going to get to them, so I shouldn't call them copy. I'm not trying to be too light about it. But look at that. There's your feed ramp for the pistols. Now for the other one, for the shotgun one, here it is. But the shotgun one I'm not so optimistic about, and I'll tell you why. There's the feed ramp for that. And as you can see, a little bit more of an angle. So if you look at the side profile, you can see that that is going to have not as easy feeding as this is, because you have more weight. But it's still, most people like to go shit when they prime. And I have a feeling that you are going to have problems with the priming of it. There's your release tabs that go into the feed. And there's your mechanism to roll it into the feed. And then there it is, right there. There is the that is the shotgun version. This is the one that Aaron Esser had, and this morning when we saw it, and he demonstrated this. But one little problem: it's geared. why did it have to be geared? You have plenty of power. You don't need to gear it. As a matter of fact, could you just like actually pump this to this and then it would go into there? No, maybe not, huh? Really sad. That does look like more than 50. They say that it holds 50, but maybe it holds more than 50. Who knows? It looks like 80 or 100, but we'll see, right? But the main thing about this is that it's geared. And for us modders, you want to go to 18, that's not going to be cool. Now for a K26, I think you'd be fine. Most people are not as heavy duty as me, but I like direct prime. I'm glad that pistol's direct prime. Just thank you, thank you, thank you. That's going to be really cool. I'm going to make twin shoulder holsters for that and everything. So, at any rate, then we go down here. And I should also mention when I saw this, Aaron Esser showed the ammo refill pack, the 50 pack. And it's not like some, let's say, done in the art direction of the blaster. It's done more genetic. Clear tube with the labels on the side of them. I like that look. It's more of a utilitarian look. So people are buying scopes because Nerf scopes don't look at that and they don't function. But if you got something that functions and you want to be part of Nerf, don't make it look so generic. The rival sights, the red dots, are the same way, but they need windage and elevation. These look functional. They hanged off here and there it is. You didn't feel like the need to have something professional done, whatever. If you look at Aaron Essen's video, here's a link down below. Check it out because it is a good video. I'll also have it in the description. It is a good video. I don't usually watch Aaron's videos, but I really found it interesting, and I thought it was very well done and well made. That's a really good way to go. So not as much make the ammo holder match the blaster, because that looked ridiculous for this. Just make it look more generic so you don't have to feel like you have to go out and get a third-party solution. I like that. Or make this a Pictionary rail and get something that mounts on Pictionary rails rather than Nerf rival rails, which are slightly different. But anyway, let's go down here. This is a ratchet thing. What one of my friends was saying on Death by Nerf Blaster, oh, and you can find this on Death by Nerf Blaster. Unless they throw me some kind of cease and desist or something, then PM me, I'll hand it to you. That these can jam. This looks very, very similar to what they used in a Stampede. So there's the shotgun blaster. It goes more into the feed mechanism. Okay? And you can see it's still geared. This is your feed. So this is like your feed side, which loads it. This is your prime side that primes it. And you can't get away from the gears because it probably won't let you. So, again, in this blaster, you're stuck to gears. And, again, it has the hopper that has the ball in there, dumps it in there, throws it in. But I will be honest and say that this is I'm least interested in this blaster. Especially since I like to pack pistol power. That's me. Okay, and here is one I think a lot of people are waiting for, the purchase copy. I think it's going to use the same battery pack, as you can see. You can learn a lot from these videos, okay? You can learn a lot from this patent, and you can see that, look at that. Yeah, that's the same battery pack. So basically, it's like a Percy's. I'm sure you probably knew that before from looking at it. But it's a lot like a Percy's. Now look at this aggressive feed ramp. How it's going from here to here, you have way more. Not only that, but when people don't have the prime flywheel blasters, they can hold it and they can have the balls go into there. Also, that and this probably has, as it goes down, goes into a conveyor, which probably pushes it. You don't have that kind of conveyor system on the Springers, and I think that that's going to be the thing. There's the battery pack. I bet you it's the same as a Percy's, maybe modified a little to be proprietary to dick you, so you can't make it so the same ones are there. If they made them the same ones, that would be cool, but they're probably not. And you can see a little bit of the drive system here. It's a belt. It looks like it's some kind of belt fed into the flywheels here. So you have a feed motor here, which is like an RS3, looks like an RS350, and these look like either 280s. I think those are 280s, yeah, 280s or Mitsubishi, maybe 320s, maybe 300s, who knows. But as you can see, it's basically a lot like a Nemesis or a Percy's, especially, or Prometheus. But here in the patent, it actually shows you the size of the hopper, track, roller, tunnel, pair of wheels. Boom. So it goes through several things before it goes in. But here's the side profile of the actual flywheels. I think this is kind of weird because you got this big thing sticking out here. There's your pinion there. There are your wheels there. But what it does is it gives you actual dimensions. So if people wanted to mod these, they could. Okay, I've got interior and exterior dimensions here. I've got, this actually shows dimensions. The other one didn't show dimensions. This shows dimensions. 5.5 crush on the outside, 7.5 in the middle. 52.7 millimeter gap between them. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah. So, you can probably infer how big these are. And we can probably start designing these. And design stuff. Now, here's something that Lord Drek was saying on his page, on his Facebook page, and is that, hey, didn't we invent this crush thing? Well, they did. So basically, they're crushing these small little ammo, and it's anywhere from 14 to 14.5 to like 7.5 millimeters in the middle. Wow, that's pretty hairy. Don't you think that's hairy? I think that's hairy. But it's going to really just throw these things like crazy, like just crazy. So here it is. Here's the patent that they filed. I think this is a public domain patent. It's pretty it's their publication. August 8th, April 8th, 2021. So this is fairly recent. But you can see for yourself. Yeah. What do I think of this? Well, first off, I felt let down. I gave a gig of Percy's, or a couple of them. So I'm going to kick a couple of hypers. Definitely. And I'm going to mod them. Probably to shoot in the 150 feet per second range. That'd be pretty badass. The other thing is, when I was watching Aaron Esser's video, I noticed that the trajectory is really good. And I also think that the ammo itself probably shoots a little flatter, a little better. Now, put in mind, I am sacrificing video light for focus and the ability for you to see what I'm talking about. So, put in mind, I don't live the best of all worlds. I'm going to need some major light boxes in order to ASA at this level. This ASA 100 on my camera. And for you to see this on my own TV. Hot as hell in here because I'm not running fans, I'm not running anything, but I wanted you to see it. I just wanted you to see it. And but what I'm most excited about is this. Oh boy. I can imagine 240 round sidearms. Now let's get to Dr. Flex's point. Dr. Flex's point, he did an April Fool's about the JT Splatmaster and how he took the speedballs and he pretended that that was a new hyper. No, it was actually Splatmaster. Now, this is like 14 millimeters. A speedball is 12.7. How do I know? I actually made a couple of Bird of Prey's Type ARs for them. And with stops, and I will tell you, my friends still use them. They say that they are just mean blasters. They still use them. I made that commission like 7 years ago. Oh, do you need any help with these? Oh, no. You still use them? Oh, yeah. Oh, man. But then again, I don't think they take them out in the field that much. And I did have to rework with them about a couple years ago. But when I came back from Singapore, but I will tell you right now that, wow, the thing is like, he was saying that, JT made these things with speedball, and he brings up a good point. One, why didn't they just borrow from that? And this is more borrowed from smaller rival. Why didn't they just borrow from that? And number two, like the JT Splatmaster Z100, why can't we just make a pistol which has a mag grip or a pistol that's hyper and uses like a dart zone pro-pass system? Because I'll tell you, this will be nice at 40 rounds, but the top feed is going to be annoying to a lot of people like me who are used to direct spring feed. Will I have them? Sure. Will I try them in wars? Most definitely. Will I mod them to 18K? Probably. Will they shoot good? I'm sure they will. But the feeding is the big thing, is that you don't have a lot of gravitation here, a lot of levity. I mean, look how little between there and there, and we all know that's maybe 10 millimeters, maybe a half an inch between there and there. That's not much. That's not much. That's not enough to gravity. And put in mind, we don't have like belts or anything helping feed this. Nothing, okay? But it would be nice if you had a magazine-fed, exchangeable magazine system, kind of like a JT Splatmaster Z100. And maybe a JT Splatmaster you can possibly use like a 9/16 barrel and load these rounds. And these barrels might crush to 14 millimeters interior diameter. I mean, you never know, right? Or 13.5, or go like with a 1932 barrel and get about, I think, 14 interior diameter. Yeah. So you never know. It might work, especially if it's wax treated. It might work. But, yeah. So, that'd be really cool if they made something that was mag-fed and then could just clink, bam, you know. Something like a Dark Zone Pro MK2. That would be pretty badass. Pretty badass. So I think there's definitely room in this line. I think the main thing is that they're smaller. They're smaller, they're 1.4 grams. I like the fact that they kept the mechanism a little more intact. I was very worried about that, actually, like extremely worried about that. If you have a big rival collection and like rivals, should you change it? No, it's good. But at the same time, you should consider that that these are smaller. They are cooler. I mean, this enables me to take a pistol that's 5 rounds and go to 40. So to me, this is a big jump. I have a lot of incentive to make this work because on my shoulder holsters, I'm holding 80 rounds. And I have not only that, but I don't have to load magazines. I can pour them in. So if I get good with these pistols, and it might be a chore because they're not spring-fed, it might take me something new to get used to, then there it is. But for the shotgun, no. And if the Percy's copy, if you already got a good Prometheus, if you already got a good Nemesis, if you already got Percy's, do I see you a good point upgrading from there to there if you're already using Rival? I'm sure Rival's going to be around for a few years at least. Not really, but honestly, if you don't have a Percy's, like I didn't get a chance to get a Percy's, go for it. So you can kind of see why I lowered the ASA, because what was happening was you couldn't see me and you couldn't see this, so I wanted to make sure you could see it. So I turned out the lights and I showed you, and there it is. This is available on Death by Nerf Blaster on my page. If it's passed by or they give me some sort of shit about putting it up, just send me a PM. I'll send you a copy. It's cool. I think this is essential for the people that are developing, especially to know what's ahead of them. And do I think this is a rival replacement? No. Do I think this opens up more avenues for people like me who are pistol? Yes. Yes, most definitely. And I think the rounds may fly a little better through the air. It's all just kind of prediction. We'll see. But, again, I really am glad I got to look at this. And I got down this rabbit hole and I found the White Rabbit. And here is the White Rabbit, the actual patent. I think that this is gonna. I think it will be a lot better than the Ultra line, which was a complete dud. And I think that this is good. Do I think it's going to replace everything? No. I think you still have your Rival. You'll still have your Dark Zone Pro. You'll still have all that stuff. You'll still have your Adventure Force stuff. You'll still have crazy me with taking crazy stuff like this to freaking Nick meets. Yeah. But I think this is going to be very exciting, especially the pistol stuff. And I can fit a freaking magazine right there. That's great. But at any rate, don't you go changing, or I'll find you. And I'll rebuild these to shoot like 3 hypers at a time. And fear it, baby. Fear it.